The stories are making headlines across the United States. A growing number of Iranian university students coming to the U.S. for their education, only to hit major roadblocks. More than a dozen with valid visas and big dreams turned back and deported just hours after arriving at U.S. airports in Boston, Detroit, Atlanta, to name a few. For Iranian students, getting that U.S. visa is no easy task.
These students their applications go through multiple U.S. agencies, some not even known to the public. And oftentimes these security checks, which can take various forms, take months.
Despite this deep vetting process and approval, students are getting pulled aside at U.S. airports, questioned by border agents, in some cases held for hours, and eventually deported with little explanation.
It seems to be part of a singling out of multiple Iranian students.
It happened to Michigan State University PhD student Alireza Yazdani. His lawyer, Bradley May, says Yazdani had a valid student visa and was vetted by the State Department. Customs and Border Protection says Yazdani was deemed inadmissible, but did not say why. May says his client gave up hours after questioning and signed an order withdrawing his application for admission. Mays was not aware of this sketch on Yazdani's Facebook page from 2013, but he says it could have played a role in his deportation. Customs officials, while not commenting on individual cases, say there are various grounds for inadmissibility, including security concerns. They also say a valid visa does not guarantee U.S. entry. A week earlier, protests outside Boston's Logan Airport to stop the deportation of another student, Shahab Dehqani. The 23-year-old economics major was returning to Northeastern University, but told his visa had been revoked. Despite a court order from a federal judge, he was deported. Media reports cite Department of Homeland Security as saying Dehqani's family has suspected links to the militant group Hezbollah, something his lawyer denies. An immigration lawyer tells CGTN if there were such links, they would have been discovered while his visa was being vetted.
They'll refuse to issue a visa on the slightest pretense, on the slightest doubt about the student's eligibility for the category and about their security issues. So it's really odd that this is happening because of that extreme vetting.
According to the New York Times, at least 16 Iranian students have been turned back from U.S. airports since August amid rising tensions between Iran and the U.S. And it's not just students in airports. There are reports of more than 60 U.S. citizens of Iranian descent and permanent residents held and questioned for hours at a U.S.-Canada land border. Among them, an Iranian-born mother of two and her husband and two children.
As soon as they realized that we were born in Iran, they lead us to the office and they held us there for 5 hours. They asked many questions, many personal questions, like our Facebook accounts and like my parents' full name, birth date, and my uncles who are in U.S. They asked about my cousins, everything.
Our office has spoken with a number of people who were detained, and in speaking with the groups that are here, is that there were certainly people of Iranian American descent, almost all, as we know, U.S. citizens and permanent residents, who were subjected to, I wouldn't call it just additional scrutiny, because they had their passports taken away, they were not allowed to leave, so they were held in some form of detention at the Peace Arch in border crossing in Blaine.
CBP denied there was a directive to target Iranian Americans with this tweet calling the reports false. But a leaked and widely circulated internal memo from U.S. Customs and Border Protection appears to show officers were indeed directed to vet people meeting a certain criteria, including those of Iranian descent and individuals who had traveled to Iran.
The bigger picture here has been the persistent targeting of Muslims and people from Iran by the Trump administration, and which is really just directly contrary to American values and to what this country should be about.
Customs and Border Protection says the matter is under investigation, but insists travelers cannot be singled out based on their nationality alone, a claim many Iranian Americans say they simply don't believe.